All right, so the next portfolio that we're looking at, I don't know if I'm gonna say his name right. Elspeth Brooks, I believe. So this one's actually an interesting one. Um, so right now, when you look at the stuff, when you look at the work that's posted, it's in various stages of quality. So you've got wireframes. Curious, we're in a different order. I'm sorry. Hang on. I see how you're doing it now. I see how you're doing it now. So this portfolio varies in quality and direction. So 3D modeler. So the direction I'm going to assume is more props oriented, but there's a little bit of a mixture of characters. There's some 2D stuff in here, or maybe some character design stuff. So what I would suggest with this, no, oh sorry. What I would suggest with this portfolio, specifically the fact that you're saying you're a 3D modeler. So right now, I'm not sure what 3D modeler means. So then when I'm not sure what that is, I will look at your portfolio to try and depict or figure out myself what that means. And so if I go down here, we're seeing like ocean or water creatures, right? We were seeing some wireframe stuff, some props, some ZBrush stuff. Some things aren't finished all the way, or some things look like they're a work in progress or experimenting with geometry. So bamboozled. Yeah, you got bamboozled. I'm sorry. But yeah, so what I would do is try and figure out where the direction is you want to go. If you want to do like creatures, is it realistic creatures, stylized stuff? I guess creatures in general just kind of works. Or props or scenes. It looks like recently you've been doing a lot of neon, like wire, like neon tube stuff. Whoa, that was bright. I'm sorry. And I like the direction that you're taking this stuff. So like you're thinking about actually how it's put together, like how things are mounted and framed, and the tubes that are painted black when they're behind and they're not supposed to be contributing to the shape. Flashbang. Yeah, and the glow looks pretty good as well. Seeing it on a wall, I think, helped here. So that's cool. Remember when tube lights, man, I think we've talked about tube lights. Neons, Jared's fave. Dude, we all know my favorite's freaking fire hydrants. Come on, man. I tried to like back away from it because you guys are like, dude, fire hydrants all the time. And now you're presenting me tube lights all the time. So this is actually, to date, with all of the portfolios we've looked at, these are the best tube lights I've seen created. So the thing that I would say is like pay attention to like how lighting is affecting the tube, or like how the tube is holding in the light and how the light comes out from that tube, and then where the color comes in. We said it on the last stream, I think, as well, but like, or the last critique stream, the tube should be almost white, maybe a hint of the color, and then most of this color is going to be on the edge, unless you're trying to simulate that the camera is adapting the brightness to compensate and try and like show you what you're taking a picture of. But I doubt that's the case. But yeah, cool. Anywho, looking at this portfolio, I just need to know like what direction you want to go in, and then it's more about focusing on that direction. Right now, you could argue that like if you were to take all of this and remove everything except these first three, then I know exactly what you're doing, right? Or if you remove everything except like the ocean stuff, then I know what you're doing, right? Or like these props here, then I understand a lot more about the direction you're heading, and then I can focus on like how you're authoring your content. Yeah, so strong direction is key. And then I think this music's too loud for me. You guys on YouTube won't hear it. I think the next thing is to look at like how your materials are being displayed. Because right now, like this color, depending on how realistic, that's another thing, is knowing how realistic you want to go. And judging by the earlier stuff, quite realistic. Paying attention to how PBR materials behave and what makes them look realistic is going to be key. And understanding like why this doesn't feel correct and why the scene feels so bright. Like if you want this light to be shining, for example, it's probably important for the entire scene to be quite dark and then this light shining and highlighting the tops of these, right? Because then you're really going to see, like you are here, you're going to see all the normal map information and how it's contributing, how the lighting is helping that show the normal map's contribution to the details, which then makes me think that this shouldn't be in this scene and it should just be this and quite dark. And then make sure you deselect stuff when you're taking your screenshots or renders. Some stuff you can do when you take a render. Let's see. Let's grab this guy. Oh, he's cute. Those teeth. I like the attention to the detail of the teeth. Oh, nice. Nice. I guess you could mirror this, but I think both sides of the shark are slightly different. Either way, let's copy this image. We'll try and show some stuff with it. So if you have this image, right, some tricks that we'll do is like if you hit levels, you can see that your ranges are like you're not using the full range. And at least bringing these in to start touching on the full range is going to be good. So let's look at that. So that is, let's paste again so we have like a before. The other thing you can do is if you dupe the top one and then where are we at? Sharpen, or no, where is it? Other and high pass. You can bring out some of the smaller elements and emphasize them. It's kind of like curvature. Senpai, what's up, man? How you doing? How does one use full range? I mean, I think you know that, but full range is like, you see how there's, when you see a little bit of height in this histogram, this is, so from here to here is 0 to 1, right? Brightest being here and darkest over here. This song's distracting me. I think you know the answer to this, but I'm answering it anyways. So darkest here, lightest here. If there's no information there, then you're not using any of that range. So by bringing this into that, now you're stretching whatever is inside between here and here. You're stretching it to fit inside of that range. So if I cap it here, if I bring that there, all the information in front of it gets removed, right? Because now it's all blown out. So that information is now gone. But if I press L, you can see everything has been squished down into that space. So if you don't have any information, let's go here. So in this one, you can see it's pretty muted. If you press Control L, you can see there's no information from here forward. And here, that little bit of dark information, I'm assuming is in the mouth and maybe a little bit on the eyes. Maybe a little bit there. But bringing this closer to here. See, I'm thinking here just because if we go here, then it gets really dark here. Let's see what happens actually if we bring this up. So you're basically looking for your highlights to your super bright areas to still have information in them and your super dark areas to still have information in them as well. So going into that range is probably the best instead of the more muted range. So we do that. Then we take this one. This is the high pass, which when I showed you, it was filters, other high pass. Actually, let's do it again. So filters, other high pass, and you move this range around to tighten up the details on level 3. Get those details emphasized, and then you can do an overlay, and you can see like how it overly sharpens. Of course, it's a little on the crazy side. So what you do is you do an overlay, and then you lower it all the way, and then you turn it up just a little bit. That'll crispen up all of your detail. This helps especially if you did not get a really high res 4K image and then downscale it to like 1080. So like your temporal AA is just melting all of your detail. This can help in alleviating some of that pain. And you can do, you can do a number of things. Like you could create a mask on here, invert it, and then paint it back where you need it. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, so if you need certain areas where you need detail, you can paint it back. But yeah, cool. So yes, we go back to this portfolio. I'm just going to go with the face value of it just because there's a lot of different stuff in here. I think focusing on a direction and then making sure that you're following the process and reference. I mean, that these guys down here, you're definitely like looking at reference. There's no doubt about it. So continue to look at reference, build out your pieces, finalize them, and then show the final version. You can show this wireframe at the end, at the bottom of your post. So like in this view, this is perfect. This is like you're showing this. Maybe you can work on the roughness or detail of the surface of the fish more. This is a great view, and the wireframe is also good. Yeah, so overall, pretty cool. Thank you for posting your portfolio, and hopefully that information helps you and guides you in a direction of continuity. Either way, thank you for posting this. All right, next portfolio. I'll be right back.